You know, when you think of Britain, what's one of the first things that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's the weather. We picture gray skies, a constant drizzle, and of course, people talking about it all the time. But is that stereotype really the whole picture? Well, let's dig in and find out what's actually happening with the British climate.
Right, let's get straight to it. This is the big one, isn't it? The idea that it's just always raining. It's why people automatically pack a raincoat for a trip to London in July. But what if I told you that whole idea is kind of wrong?
Okay, get ready for this because this slide pretty much blows that myth right out of the water. Just look at this. London, rainy, gray London, is actually drier than Rome, and Sydney, and even New York. Yep, the city famous for its drizzle gets less rain in a year than all of these places we think of as sunny or, well, just not Britain. So if it's not one big soggy island, what is the real story?
Well, the secret is that Britain doesn't really have one climate. It's more like a country with a split personality, weather-wise. Where you are makes a huge difference. It's basically a tale of East versus West.
So here's the deal. The west of the country is right there on the edge of the huge Atlantic Ocean. All these clouds full of moisture roll in and hit the west coast first. As they move over the hills and mountains there, they dump a ton of rain. By the time that air makes it over to the east, well, it's a lot drier. On the flip side, the east is closer to mainland Europe, so in the winter, it gets that colder continental air. This one bit of geography explains so much.
To really get a feel for British weather, we've got to take a journey through the seasons. And we'll start with the beautiful but totally unpredictable British spring. And you know, there's this old saying that just absolutely nails it. Spring doesn't just show up quietly. March often roars in, super windy and wild, before it finally starts to chill out towards the end of the month.
And as you get deeper into spring, you see all these amazing signs of life. You've got little lambs popping up in the fields and bright yellow daffodils everywhere. But then you get to April. And April is famous for its April showers. 1 minute it's beautiful sunshine, the next you're running for cover from a downpour, and 5 minutes later, the sun's back out again. It's a season that definitely keeps you guessing.
Okay, let's move on to the season that everybody waits for. Summer. When the sun finally decides to show up for real, the whole country just comes to life, trying to soak up every single second of it.
This is the time for all those classic British things. You've got school sports days, the smell of barbecues wafting over garden fences, and little village fairs. The days get incredibly long. And here's a wild little detail for you. If you go way up north in Scotland, it never actually gets pitch black dark. The sun just kind of dips below the horizon for a bit.
But, of course, even this amazing season isn't perfect for everybody. While loads of people are outside enjoying the weather, for some, summer actually brings its own set of problems.
For starters, it's peak hay fever season, and if you suffer from that, you know it can be absolutely miserable. And for thousands of older students, the warmest, sunniest days of the entire year are spent stuck inside, stressing out over their final, super important school exams.
So as summer starts to fade, Britain eases into what might just be its most gorgeous season, autumn. And it usually starts off pretty calm and beautiful.
Early autumn can be amazing, with lots of crisp, clear days. It's when people go out picking apples and wild blackberries, and the scenery, it's just stunning. All the leaves on the trees turn these incredible shades of yellow, red, and gold.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, just like spring, autumn has a bit of a twist. After that peaceful, beautiful start, the weather really turns. Late autumn is often the stormiest, windiest part of the whole year, when those big Atlantic storms really start to hit hard.
And that brings us to our final season, winter. Now, for most of the country, a British winter isn't actually about huge piles of snow. It's more about just being cool, damp, and often really foggy.
But what about when it does snow? Now that's where things get really interesting. Because snow is pretty rare in a lot of places, the country is famously terrible at dealing with it. Even a tiny amount of snow can cause absolute chaos.
And yeah, this pretty much sums it up. We're talking a couple of inches of snow, and suddenly everything just stops. Roads are blocked, trains stop running, airports shut down. The whole system just seems to freeze up at the sight of a few snowflakes.
But you know, there is one huge perk to all this chaos. When the snow hits, schools almost always close. So for all the kids, a snow day means a surprise holiday and a chance to get out and play. It's pure magic.
Which brings us full circle, all the way back to our first question.
After seeing how it's different from east to west, how it changes so much from season to season, and even from hour to hour, why is it such a big deal in conversation?
And maybe this is the real answer. It's not just polite, empty small talk. It's a shared experience that connects everyone. Because the weather in Britain isn't just the background scenery. It's an unpredictable, ever-changing main character that affects everyone's plans, moods, and daily lives. And when you think about it like that, of course you're going to talk about it.